All right, looks like we are live. Hello, everyone that's watching, and welcome. I know this is kind of on a short notice, but this thing just showed up in the mail just within the last 30 minutes. So I was thinking about waiting till tomorrow, but I really just want to open this thing and check it out. So I'm going to kind of doing this rushed unboxing video. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Okay, awesome. Looks like we got some more people showing up. So yeah, so I just received this instrument, and this is an instrument that I've been looking for a very long time. I've always wanted one, but only just recently could I really afford it. Definitely by far the most expensive instrument I ever bought. And I'm expecting it to need a lot of work. So I'm really excited. So without further ado, let's just get the thing open and see what it is. So the way I got this thing, though, was kind of a little bit sketchy. Usually most of my instruments I buy on eBay or Reverb or some other site. I think this is the first instrument I've actually bought through, I bought it through Facebook. And I paid with a check, which I don't normally like doing because, like, if something goes wrong, your money's pretty much gone. But fortunately, everything worked out. The person telling it was credible. And so yeah, so I'm really excited about this thing. Right. A lot of good guesses in the comments. I think most people pretty much already know what this is because I've been talking about it. But I'm just so excited to get it. Yeah. Okay. This thing is absolutely heavy. This is by far, well, this is probably the second largest case I've ever had on an instrument. The largest case I've ever had with an instrument was my Leblanc Vito contrabass clarinet. That case was like 6 feet long. This thing isn't quite as long, but it's still, this thing's huge and it's really heavy. It's like got to be at least 20 or 30 pounds. All right, so here we go. So yeah, most of you got it right. So it is a Leblanc low D paperclip contrabass clarinet. So let me try and show you this thing. It's not perfect, of course. It needs work, but this thing is really, really clean. Just from the pictures, it looked in really good condition. Has a few dents I need to take out. Obviously needs a repad overhaul, but all that stuff I plan on doing. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited to finally have this thing. So ever since I kind of learned about like the lower members of the clarinet family, I've always wanted a good contrabass clarinet. And the first contrabass clarinet I had was a Vito contrabass clarinet. It was just terrible. I could not get the mechanism kept having problems. Had tons of leaks that I just couldn't figure out where they were. And so I didn't even want to bother with it. And then I got my newer Contra, well, the one that I kind of fixed in a previous video, my straight LeBlanc, but I kind of hate how you have to sit on a stool to play it. So I've always wanted a paperclip, not just because of the fact that it's more compact, but also because they generally have a lower range. In this case, this one goes to low D. So let me get this thing out and let's see if it plays. All right. Actually, you know what? It looks like it's missing most of its pads. Missing all of its pads. So what he told me, the person that sold me told me that he sent it to I guess one of his techs, and they started an overhaul on it, but they never went anywhere with it. So it looks like all the pads are removed, but yeah, it looks like it just need to polish up the body, put on some new pads, level them, play some key corks. It looks like I might need to do a little bit of plating touch up, like on that key, but overall, this thing is absolutely beautiful. Thanks. Yeah, I'm so excited. I've always wanted to. Surprisingly, these things are getting really, really hard to find these days. Most of the ones I've seen on eBay have been selling for ridiculous prices. The low C's have been consistently going above $6 grand. Even the low D's, like I saw a low D recently that sold for I think $5,700. It did have a nice, like it was re-lacquered. It had like a black and gold finish on it. It looked pretty nice, but still $5,700 for a low D Paperclip. But so I got this one. This one I paid $3,200 for it, and then it is missing a few parts, just like various screws and odds and ends that I need to find. And of course, it needs pads. So I'm hoping by the time I'm done fixing this up, it should be about maybe $3,500 into it. And then, of course, eventually, what I do want to do is build a low C extension for it. I've seen several techs do that. What I have to do is I have to make basically I have to have keys that go from the thumb rest down here all the way up to where the low C extension would be. Also, we got a few more parts I gotta unbox. So next we have the neck. Also looks to be in really good shape. The serial number matches, which is good. Does not have a neck screw, but I was prepared for this. I was digging through my parts, and I think I found the right screw for it. Make sure that fits. No, that doesn't fit. Okay, so I need to go track down another screw for that, but that's something I'll do. I got the original neck, nice and tight, and then the last part I need is the de resistance. That's a bell. That thing is just, it looks like, I think the tech that has before me polished it, because everything looks absolutely beautiful. Was that the Contra that was on eBay from Brazil? The one that looked like really, really nice? Oh yeah, because there's like a video of it on YouTube. It's like a low C Paperclip that's in really nice condition. They were asking $5,500 for it. That thing looked really nice. I think if I had seen it at the time, I probably would have gotten it. So yeah, there it is. Paperclip Contrabass Clarinet. So yeah, so eventually what I want to do, I've already started kind of working on the prototype. I'm basically going to make an extension that fits between the bell and the, I guess you would call it the lower joint. No, okay, so it's a different one. Yeah, I mean, I've been keeping my eye on eBay for a while for a paperclip, but usually when they show up, they're selling for ridiculous prices. My hope is that by the time I'm finished with this, making a low C extension, I'll still be under 4,000. But I've seen some. I saw one low C sell for like $4,000 at eBay, but it looked pretty rough, and I think that was like a year ago. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. So yeah, just absolutely beautiful condition. I'm really excited to restore it. So okay, let me try and catch up on the comments because I haven't been paying attention. Send jelly. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Unless anybody has any last minute questions. So yeah, so I guess I'll talk about kind of my plan to overhaul this thing. So I kind of want to do like an all-out overhaul. Of course, I'm gonna like polish every nook and cranny of this thing, just make it look absolutely beautiful. Of course, it's not perfect. It has some dents. There's a dent in the bottom that I'm going to have to take out. Manufacture date. I think I need to look at the serial number chart, but I think it would be mid-60s maybe. That's probably not right. Might be earlier because I know they didn't make these low Ds for a while. I think they stopped in the 60s. But yeah, so clean and polish everything, remove as many dents as I can. I've already ordered some black kangaroo leather pads from Pristini. So I think those are going to look really nice against the polished nickel on the instrument. And instead of using key corks in a lot of places, I'm going to be using Teflon tubing to try and smooth up the action, make it nice and nice and smooth, nice and clean. I'm going to try and increase the pad heights as much as possible, try to make the instrument play better. And then one other modification I want to do is I'm going to be enlarging the register vents. I did that on my straight Contra, and I found that it really improved the Clarinet register. So hopefully by the time this thing is done, it should be a really, really good playing instrument. And the one thing I absolutely love about this is that I no longer have to sit on a stool to play contrabass. So I'm really looking forward to playing this in my ensemble when I guess we're probably not going to meet again until the fall because of the whole virus. But yeah, at least by the time we meet again, I'll have a nice Contra to play. Are you going to give this the same set and silver finish as your straight contra? So it's not a set. It's actually just painted. It's like a metallic. It's like a gunmetal finish, like a gray paint. It's a kind of paint that was used. It's used for like car wheels, like rims. Yeah, the only reason I did that was because the finish on an instrument was completely pitted and ruined. So I tried polishing it, but unfortunately it just wouldn't shine. And with all the engravings and scratches and dings on it, I figured it would just look better if it was painted. And I think it came out pretty good. But this instrument, the nickel, looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm definitely going to try and keep this nice and polished and give it a mirror-like finish. How would you deal with the sticky keys? My B-flat clarinet has a problem with the register key. For the register key, actually, I'm going to do this. What I always do is any instrument, any clarinet I have, I replace the register keypad with cork. A cork pad is much less likely to stick. So for this instrument, I'm going to be using 2 cork pads, actually 3 probably, one here, and then I'm going to be using a giant cork pad for the B-flat vent right here. But yeah, cork pads, for the time being, you can try the dollar bill trick where you just take a dollar bill and you rub it between the pad and the register vent, and that'll sometimes help prevent sticking. But yeah, I would get that pad replaced with the newer cork pad as sooner than later. It's usually not too expensive, maybe like $20 at most. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to do like a full start to finish video of restoring this instrument. Partly because I really want to kind of show off the process, and also because I've just been bored out of my mind with not being able to leave my house. So I want to try showing off the entire process. I'm not sure when my pads are going to get here. Hopefully, I ordered them like 2 weeks ago, so hopefully they come soon. But once the pads come, I guess even before the pads come, I can start the process of polishing it. Yeah, I give it a good polish, take all the keys off, clean all the rods, get all the old oil off, and then that way when the pads come, it's going to be all ready for a repad. And one thing I want to do with these pads, when I restored my, when I repadded my straight contra, what I did was the normal method you're supposed to use with these instruments. The pads usually aren't held in with glue. They're held in, I don't know if you can see, but they're held in with like little screws. Well, not screws, like threaded rods on the pad cups, and then you like use a nut to hold down the pad. And then to level the pad, you would use like paper shims. But in this case, what I've heard is a lot of techs are now using what is it? They're using just glue to level the pads, and then they're just putting the nuts over that. And it makes more sense. It theoretically lasts longer, and it allows for more precise adjustment of the pads, and it's also quicker. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I think Clark Folks recommended that technique, so I think I'm going to go with that. Other than that, let's see, what else am I going to do? Oh, so I do have, so most of these Contras, they usually have like plating wear on the touch pieces. These touch pieces look absolutely beautiful. The only touch piece I see that has a little bit of plating wear, actually I can take the whole upper joint off like that. That's another cool, so one thing I want to do is I want to make a compact case for this because it does come apart in 2 pieces. But the only touch piece I see that has some plating wear is this, the thumb key. So I'm just going to be replating that, so there will be absolutely no plating wear on this instrument whatsoever. I hope is that once this is done, this is going to be a really mint instrument. It already looks beautiful. But yeah, I really want to go all out in this overhaul and just make it look perfect, because this is an instrument I've always wanted. And yeah, I'm just really excited. All right, so wow, I'm surprised how many people we got here, considering how late I did this. Yeah, it's just kind of an impromptu thing. Like I didn't even know the instrument was here, and I just the person who sent it to me just happened to send me the tracking number, and I checked it, and it said delivered. And I was freaking out because I ran to my front door and I didn't see it, and I was really worried that it might have gotten stolen off my porch. But fortunately, I ran to my back door and it was there, so no worries about that. So yeah. Really, you found a case for $80? Wow, because I saw a case on eBay for a paperclip that, well, I thought it would be nicer than this case, but this case actually looks pretty good. I'm going to have to restore this case. It just needs a little bit of glue. Yeah, there's a case on eBay right now for like, I think it's like $175, something ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta find a. I think I'm gonna try and make my own case like I did for my basset horn. You have a video where you replayed it. I don't have a video, but I will definitely make one because replating keys is one of those things that I thought it would be a lot harder than it actually was. You can buy like a kit to do it for like $50, but you also need to buy a few things like in order to prep the metal, you got to use battery acid, which is a little dangerous to work with. But yeah, I can do a video kind of explaining that because like once you kind of learn how to replate keys, it's really easy to like do touch up plating and make instruments look brand new. That's usually the one thing a lot of techs don't do. They don't replate keys. They'll instead just send it out to some other company that will replate the keys for them. But yeah, with my replating kit, it's generally pretty easy. Have I played E flat? Yeah. So yeah, I've had several E flat contrabass clarinets over the years, but I recently sold my Selmer Rosewood. There's several videos of me working on my Selmer Rosewood E flat contrabass clarinet, contralto, or great bass clarinet on my channel. Yeah, like the last one I had, yeah, was a Selmer Rosewood, but I sold it. Eventually, I would like to get another paperclip to match this one. There was one on eBay, but it sold for a bit more than I wanted to pay for it. But I don't really have any use for a E flat, great bass, contrabass, whatever you want to call it, clarinet. So I'm probably not gonna get one anytime soon. But if I ever see one, I might pick it up. I guess when I have more money, because I kind of spent all my money on this thing. It is a paperclip contrabass clarinet. So yeah, so hopefully my pads will arrive tomorrow and I can start making some videos on this thing. Yeah, I'm so excited. I could not wait till tomorrow to unbox it because I've been looking forward to this for weeks. All right, well, I'm getting pretty tired, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. So thank you guys for joining me for this late night live stream. Hope you guys are looking forward to more contrabass repair videos because I know I am. Hope you all are staying safe and have a wonderful night.